Okay,
Hey,
so
y'all.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Avini Vibes. It's December 11th, 2025. We're always so excited to be here. If you're a guest, I want to just reassure you, you are in the right place, and whoever invited you really thinks highly of you and cares about you. That's why they've invited you to this amazing call. We have amazing company with the products that are just off the charts, and I always use the word amazing because they truly are. Not only the products, the company, the leadership, which we're going to hear from a big leader tonight. And I'm so excited that she's going to be our guest. But before we do that, just a couple housekeeping rules. Oh, not rules, no rules in this house. Let's see, housekeeping. Bathrooms to the left, men's room is to the right. Just kidding. I got to keep you laughing. But what I do ask you is no medical terms, okay? What we don't do is we don't make any medical claims, we don't diagnose, and we don't treat. We're here to educate, we're here to learn, and we're here to hear about amazing stories, testimonials, and get educated. We always can learn from one another. So I'm grateful for that. I do ask you to mute yourself. And at the end, when we get to the end, if you want to raise your hand, we'll certainly get around the room and we'll go ahead and try to get to all of your questions. Holidays are around the corner. So I have to just share something with you today. I think I talked to one or two of you early on. This week for some reason for if you don't know, I was in the human services care for about 30 years as an executive director. First, running a therapeutic horseback riding center with patients, quadriplegics, paraplegics, stroke patients, etc., using animals. And I'm so glad we have a new distributor, brand new, and she loves animals and she's going to use the Avini products with the animals as well. So we were glad to hear about that. But I had this inkling to go back into the field that go visit some of my colleagues, go visit some of the places that I used to go as the director or as an executive director. Not an always easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do at all sometimes when I think back to those days, how hard it was at times, but also so rewarding. But I went back today because a dear friend of mine, a colleague, director of mental health for our county, we started a program many, many years ago, over 21 years ago, called Welcome Orange. And it was all about the mental health, being welcoming to people in the mental health field. Very challenging, but the stigmas that are attached to that. So something prompted me to go last week and go to a big one today and see many, many of my colleagues. And I heard these speakers and I heard so much of some of the pain that is out there, right? I mean, I was reminded, I mean, I lived it for so many years, maybe I was numb to it, but to hear what we call as consumers, people getting services, stand up and ask for help or know they don't have enough food insecurity, they don't have shelter, or they don't have the things that, maybe we take for granted. I don't know. You probably don't, but I guess sometimes we might. But it was just so eye-opening to look around the room and see so many colleagues I've known for 30 years and see them still at bat fighting for those people. And I thought when I asked Toni Abeyta, who's going to speak to us in a moment, about what to speak about, I said, hope and possibilities. And today, this is so amazing, Toni, because we talked about that yesterday and in the email, hope and possibilities. And today's theme at this conference was hope and possibilities. I mean, board members from NAMI, if you know NAMI, board members from national organizations, bless my heart to know I'm in the right place tonight and I was today, and so are you. So, with that, I just am grateful for the opportunity of reflection because we're going to talk about your reflection and resetting and hope and possibilities. And I can't think of anybody better to talk about that is Toni Marie Abeyta. Welcome. Come on down. Thank you for being with us. You have the floor, so it's all yours.
On, this is your life.
This is
Thank
your
you.
life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running down and Carol is Carol Merrill, Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you so, so much. Honestly, I'm going to tell you honestly, I didn't know or I spaced that it's hope and possibilities, but it couldn't be more real and genuine for a great topic that I believe in so deeply, so deeply. Especially the possibilities part. And thank you so everyone here. I'm here in California. I flew in this morning. It's chilly, it's really cold, and I'm staying with the beautiful Kathy Hurlin. Look at her beautiful home that she has me residing in. I wish I could do a panoramic. It's lovely. It's one of the benefits of growing your business and achieving freedom. And if we're hoping for freedom or hoping for the ability to be fluid and enjoy your life the way that we want to live it, I can't think of another way. I can't think of another way. Avini is providing that for us. And Christine, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing as a speaker. Listen to her. Listen to her. This is a leader here. Listen to her. Just what can we not create? MJ has created a venue for us to actually write down on 3x5 cards what our visions are. Can you get my wallet? Can you get my wallet? Thank you. It's in there. And I carry those color cards that I started originally, Ed and the rest of the group, Ed Kwaski and Roxy. Do you have yours too? We can create and actually manifest what we hope for. And the possibilities are endless, right? So thank you. It's a black wallet because I found it and I just tucked it in there. And so that one, yeah. Okay. So while I'm having blank cards here just to take notes for all of what your brilliance ensues, and I want to take notes on it, I also decided that I was going to carry one in my wallet, and it has come true. I'm not going to read it, but it is beautiful, and I'm just going to tell you that oh, I love this company. I love all of you. We are family. And let's see, what do you want practical? Do you want practical
Well,
or
you know what? I had somebody text me today and say, can she tell her story about like why Avini? Like why? What about the products? Are the products so over the top great? That's what they said to me today. I said, oh yeah, they are.
they
But why
are?
Avini? You're a professional. You've been in this field for a long time, but there was
Man,
something different about this company in the
yes,
products as well as the possibilities. Can you share that?
I'd be happy to. And you're going to hear me drop a different voice. It's funny. Somebody noticed that when I go into business mode, my voice drops. So because when I'm in possibility mode, I'm up here. But when I recognize we're talking about business, it's coming down here, folks. So if you hear this voice, this is the one that is business. All right. So I was, the history of my life is that my family introduced me to network marketing, and they like, literally like Kyle, I got drug in kicking and screaming because I was already working. I already had two jobs. I was running a health writer kiosk. Anybody remember those health writers in the 90s? You'd sit and do this, right? And you blow your knees out. Okay, I was doing that. I was running a health food store like Christine. I was running a health food store and major chain and building them because they were called Live Well stories. They were taking on a Scandinavian flair. So it was a whole new flavor. And my parents were introduced to a network marketing company that many of us come from that are here now from Japan. And it was there that the concept of freedom and sovereignty, having a control of your destiny through leveraging time and other people and working together for a common goal and not just keeping other people down like a 9 to 5, but lifting each other up. And it caught on, it caught a fire in me because I saw how it pieced together freedom. And so fast forward, why Avini? It I've been I will say a junkie for network marketing. I will find only exclusive companies that make something very health oriented but cannot be duplicated. And I was building another company and had achieved diamond rank when Sharon Buller, my sponsor, contacted me and said, Toni, I really think you'd need to take a look at this. And would you please come to Summit with me? It's our first summit in October. It's in Salt Lake City. And I said, no, can't be bothered. I'm building, don't bother me. And I literally pulled that routine. If you join me, I'll join you. Please stop bothering me. And it was just that way. I joined, I set my Health Wise pack on the counter, and it had two cell defenders, one fiber, it had one of everything, a mushroom, a plus relief, but it sat on the counter for 3 months. And I was enjoying carnivore eating. I got the fiber out, our Avini Plus fiber, and I recognized, wow, this is really different. It's not gritty. I really like the results. Who's involved with this company? Let me do a little deeper dive. And I discovered that I knew people that I knew from prior companies like Dave Johnson, Doug Dickey, uh, Marcy and Chip Littlejohn. Well, at that time, Dennis Williams was not present, but he was here and I knew him. And so I said, why? What is this company about? Doug Dickey made a trip to Grand Junction, took a 5-hour presentation with myself and a good friend, Kathy Rossman, who's also a nurse, spent 5 hours. So the science made sense. Next morning, he takes out a piece of paper and says, here, take a look at this. Here's our comp plan, Toni. You're a numbers girl. You're a businesswoman. I know. Take a look. And he literally flew it at me like that. And yes, Carol, he did. He literally threw it across the table. And I read it from left to right like a book. And I said, are you serious? Is this real? You got me. You got me. And at that moment, he did a 3-way call with Neil Roth. And Neil's welcome solidified the deal.
And for any guests, Neil Roth is our CEO.
Thank you. Our CEO, Neil Roth, which the use of a 3-way call is very valuable to validate the discovery I drew on my own conclusion. Your new guests, they need to see it and recognize the comp plan in addition. Now, the products, remember, right now it's theory. I'm being taught science, which I have an engineering background. The science made sense, but I was also sick. I was also sick at the same time. It was secondary. I was taking care of my father. I had moved back to Colorado and I was taking care of my father. So my health was secondary, but I was also already experiencing compromised cells from inhalation of gas fumes for 4 years and black growy fungus on my walls for 10 years. So our products were the answer for that. And experiencing that and having test results proving that started with it, 5 months later, I have much less of it. 13 months later, I don't have any of it. This is a done deal. This is a done deal. It was the perfect marriage of vehicle for business, product for efficacy and efficiency, and what people need. We so need it. You don't have to drive a deadly sports car like I did to need these products. You just have to eat the food or breathe the air or drink the water to need our products. So that is my story. And I'm happy to stick to it. I'm sticking to it.
So you also saw big possibilities. You're a big thinker. So you didn't see and you're a diamond in this company. You're at the top of the game. Like people are wanting to be diamonds, but what does it take to be a diamond?
It it does take a lot of time on your phones. And well, I'm just going to tell you what it took of me. It took re-loving the people that I had loved in the past. If you're new to networking, use the investments, there's a word for it. and I don't want to say monetize your relationships. That's not what I want to focus on. I want to say use the
People equity.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You knew exactly where I was going with that. People equity. You use the people equity that you have, that they trust you and they love you. And I literally went, remember, I was a diamond in a previous company that I was building. I had to go back to these people that had all invested $1,500 just to be a part of that company, $1,500 to get bottles of product that didn't work. I had to systematically go one by one by one, throw my heart on the floor and say, will you trust me? Will you trust me one more time? I found something that we're on the wrong boat. We're on the Titanic. And I found something that I really believe if you just trust me one more time, I show you the way that this company's financial system is built. We will not only re-get what you invested in the first one, we can duplicate that and carry it forward. All of them but one came. All of them but one. We're going to get that one. We're still going to get that one. Okay. But how beautiful, because all of those people, and I have to share this with you. I got a phone call from, well, I actually hear from husbands, and I love this. They say, what's different? Because now my wife or my partner, my spouse struggled to make 20, 40, $60 a month. Now it's 1,000, it's 2,000 or more a month. What's going on here? It's our structure. It's our ingenious compensation plan. And we've got to bang that drum. We've got to not forget to mention how generous our business side of our program is and how lucrative. So yes, I'm excited. If you can't tell, I don't know.
Absolutely. So I have a question. There's another Clean Start 90, something new. I mean, sort of new. It's like we've used it in other businesses, but Avini now, this is leadership coming together and clean start. Everybody needs a clean start, right? And so this is the time. December's the time, not wait till January, right?
Correct. Correct. It's a wonderful program. I see its ease in being able to introduce it to a new person. And actually I've recently enrolled several new people just by being able to open that topic about starting a detoxification program and laying it out the ease of it and the economy of it without confusion. So I'm very straight forward about that's my simplistic. I don't confuse with excessive details. And to be completely honest, Christine, I am not your expert on the program. I am an overview. I get the concept, so I relay that concept.
Well, also the beautiful thing is we have leadership. We had Paul Stowers, another diamond last week, a white diamond last week came on, and Paul did the program for us. And the great thing is it's being done throughout the week, multiple times. So, you know, you want to hear it more than once. You want to delve into it, go to the recordings, go to the live. That's another nice thing. You know, that's value, Tony. Wouldn't you agree in the company what other things they offer? You already mentioned MJ Durkin, you know, a top executive coach that we have access to that our company pays for us, right? So that's more value added. But there's other things that come along with this, like an MJ and like the programs that are put together, and all we have to do is follow the dots.
Yes, and it's fun to follow those dots. It's fun to follow the carrots and just where are we going from here? It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And yeah. And to have them come true. I am a vision board person, by the way. Everyone, I don't know if people love vision boards. I used to teach vision board training. Carol, I see her going, yay. Year after year, they'd ask me to bring my last year's vision board and demonstrate how many things have come true. Okay. And inevitably, they just do. They just do. That's why I brought out my card. because it came true. So just the possibilities are up to us to decide. And once we decide them, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Don't obsess about it. Just lay it out, tuck it away, check it back. There's always the method of keeping it on your refrigerator and glancing at it so it reinforces the subconscious. I happen to believe that once it's in there, it's in there. And there's another method that says, if you want to get to B and you're at A, which is the best way to get there? The answer is, it doesn't matter. Your way is your way, you're going to get there, right? It doesn't matter. Your way is, you'll find the way. It can be over fire, it can be under the wall, the brick wall. However it is, we're going to get there. So I'm a bit idealistic today. I'm flying high with this freedom, and my heart is soaring right now. So I would love it if you'd ask me some specifics that I can go into my analytical side. But
well, let's talk about the word freedom, because as I just said earlier, I went back into a world that I lived in, and I lived in it was not an easy world. It was more than 9 to 5, because as the ED, you did anything when people didn't show up, and I always, as I reflect back, it was, I always say that, I didn't realize there was a gun to my head from the standpoint of, $2 million budget and having to wait for the state to pass the budget, or for us to get the funds, or for us to have the cash flow to produce the services. And I was in literacy, so I had to produce educational gains within a certain amount of period. Like, that's what really hit me today, how I had that pressure. It was a pressure cooker, a constant pressure cooker for 30 years. Blessings for sure. But I have, now that I'm doing Avini nearly 3 years, today I didn't have to be there, and I was there out of choice, and I had that freedom too, and that beautiful thing. So just express, if you would, freedom. Freedom meaning you got up to get on a plane to go where and do what?
oh my goodness. Well, this extra part, I'm going to tell you, this is bonus. This is bonus action, people. So get up early, have someone come pick you up. You don't drive yourself. You have someone come and get you, take you to the airport. You get on right away, and you get a first class ticket. Your bags are paid for. Serious, you get a first class chair, and it's all nice and cushy. In fact, the chair was so big, my short little legs didn't fit. I'm dangling off the edge. I almost wanted to go get a coach seat so I could fit. But they offer you coffee, and it's nice to sit there and say, wow, I didn't used to fly first class. This is really nice. This is really incredible. And so that little sweet thing, coming to Sacramento to do both business, but also see my friends. I used to live here, which is the center of influence. So if you have a place that you love and you're no longer there, and you have the freedom to travel back, and I'm going to bring her over here. Get over here. Get over here. This is one of my dearest, bestest friends. This is Kathy Hurland. Hi.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
This
Nice
is Kathy. And so she's one of the reasons that I enjoy freedom, because I get to come and see her, spend time. And guess what? She's an Avini, and she sits at the top of a really lovely leg, and she's developing business, and she's a professional, and she's looking for freedom too. Because you know what? How many years have you worked? How many? 42. 42 years that she's been putting her blood, sweat, and tears, like you, Christine. And when it came time for promotions and pay raises, they didn't give it to her. They gave it to the girl she trained. She trained that person, and she watched her bonus go to the newest kid on the block. And it broke her heart. And I love her to pieces. There's no one kinder than Kathy Hurland, and she deserves a huge freedom, and she's getting it with Avini, because we can do it.
Well, let's talk about that from the standpoint, you're a numbers girl. So when you looked at the compensation plan, you could make your own paycheck getting to your certain ranks, right? Your
Yes,
rank
ma'am.
is equal too. Could you just talk a little bit? We have a few guests. Could you just address that a little bit about how you can look at where you want to be and how you're going to get there and what it's going to take? It's a written plan, is it not?
It is a written plan, and I just want to say going through it, actually doing it, so is the best way as you're doing it. Describing it is simple. One of the benefits, I'm going to point out some benefits of our company that made it obvious. First, there is no fee or fees associated with joining Avini. Huge, huge savings to be a part of a company forever and ever. We don't pay for our app. We don't pay for our website. Next, whichever package we decide to come in with, or whether it's a family value pack at $9.99 or a smaller family, maybe it's a couple at $4.99, or maybe it's an individual package, $2.99. Now, I have to admit, remember, I was trading game for game. I did a $2.99 pack, but the vision was there. So it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. If somebody's desire is there, they're going to make it. Okay. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. The value of our purchase and the points associated with those packages, they count for our own bonus. That was huge. Again, looking at the plan, when I learned that our own purchase counted towards the bonus we would get at the end of the month, that was unheard of. In the past, it fed the upline. Has anybody been in a company where what you purchased was not dollar per point, and on top of that, you didn't get the credit for it, your sponsor did? Yeah, Pat's waving. So incredible. And then the first thing I noticed was that two legs, most companies start out with two legs. Ours is a three-legged company, but we don't start new people. You know, you don't run full gallop. I love horses too, Christine. You don't take off full gallop with our compensation plan. You start trotting. We start with a pony, and it's two legs. And even that, we can be gifted a leg from above, and it would count as one of the two legs. Where I've come from in the past, I had to do both. I had to do both, one in each side. But we could be gifted, and then their volume plus my volume equaled a total volume plus a recruitment bonus. And I recognized that the first level of pay was 500 points total. $500 equals 500 points. And I thought, if this is the first level of bonus dollars, 500 points, I knew from past businesses how easy it was to accumulate just 500 points. And what the real carrot was, new listeners, is if you can do 500, you can do it times 3, 1,500 points. Very simple in a month to do, very, very easy. And when I saw that bonus, that rank bonus that was at the executive level of every gem, silver, gold, sapphire, ruby, emerald, and etc. It's 3 levels, 3 legs, 3 levels. Executives got rank bonuses. I'm like, hot diggity dog, sign me up again. We love that. And what it proved, and I'm going off on an excited tangent here, the way that those bonuses are broken up, those executive bonuses are broken up, is to stair step you to the next rank so that your income is consistently streaming. Or actually, I should go this way, consistently going up. It never jerks and drops. If we are truly building and encouraging our people to do the same thing that we were taught to do, and bring someone in, add someone of their own, donate a leg, or perhaps they're strong like you all. You bring in your own. I brought in my own. I mean, they just came. They came. They were like Pied Pipers. They came. All right. And it was wonderful because we could help one another by putting people underneath other people, and it built. And there was a consistent, steady stream up, and the rank executive bonuses kept those streams at a constant level up without dropping, without irregularity. There was predictability in it. I loved seeing that. And it was very consistent and very proven true in my experience, all the way. And like Chris Bruce explained last night on the Diamond call, I am a Diamond executive. I have been for over a year now. I'm working on my White Diamond, very close, and it just streams. So it's wonderful to see the growth, but it doesn't happen unless we help each other. We must help each other, period.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to shift gears for a moment. We're going to go into a little bit of the product. And Toni, Carol last week told a story, or the week before, about she gave a testimony about her eyes, and she had great results. Carol, do you want to give the short version of that again?
Sure. So, in 2019, I was diagnosed with a degenerative disorder, and I gave up my driver's license because they told me I wouldn't be able to pass my driving test to get my license. So I haven't been driving since 2019 because of it. Then I started noticing some differences in my eyes. And I went to my eye doctor and I told her what was going on. And she said, Carol, you do not have that. It is, your eyes are clear. You do not have that. And I said, well, could I have been misdiagnosed? And she said, oh, no, they're specialists. They know what they're doing. You went to one of the top specialists. So no, you could not have been misdiagnosed. What have you been doing? And I told her, and she said, keep doing it. And all I've been doing is putting Cell Defender in my one drop in each eye, and then doing the nano silver at night after I take my makeup off, spray my eyes wide open, and then I take the Mind and Vision, and I'm going to continue it for life. So I walked away from that with lighter readers, 125, and that's all I needed.
Carol, thank you. Thank you. And because of Carol's story, it prompted me to go get my eyes checked, Carol. I went yesterday. Haven't been there since 2019. And he said, do you wear your glasses? The intake lady said, do you wear your glasses? I said, no, I have a mild prescription. But when he came in, I brought my bottle with me, my Plus Mind and Vision, and I challenged him about the level of lutein, 100 milligrams. He's like, oh, well, usually you only need 10. I said, well, we have 100, and our biochemist says. So I read this, and he looked at it. But when he did my eyes, I didn't have to say much more. He says, for somebody not at your age, you haven't been here. I don't even wear my glasses. So I was like, same thing. So thank you, Carol, for that. Because, well, everybody go get your eyes checked. You'll be amazed. Take your Plus Mind and Vision. So, right?
I did. I have very, very good vision. I got readers, but and I actually bought glasses just because they're stylish. Okay. Makes you look smart when you're on stage if you wear glasses, so I got them. But no, the products are incredible. Congratulations on both of you. And I have to say something, Christine, everybody here looks younger. Do you not recognize that?
Well, we do. We have a guest on. Where is she? That's what she said earlier. We were getting ready to come on. There she is, Hannah, your guest. Have her. What did you share with us earlier?
I'd like to introduce Karen. She just joined tonight as a distributor.
Yay!
She's staying with me for a while, and so she's been hearing everything, and she's worked with children on the autism spectrum level. She loves animals, so she just intuitively, once she started hearing all the different Zooms that we've been on, and Toni, you on Monday, oh my word, it's just been amazing. And so go ahead, Karen.
So my background is health and wellness, right? And natural. And detoxing was a big thing with herbs, doing it the herb way, right? And a lot of dried and fresh herbs and different ingredients. I call them potions, but But what I noticed from listening, it's been what, 2 weeks now?
Mhm.
2 weeks listening and looking at everyone, I can't get over the skin, right? And this is what I said when I first came on, was
So here.
the skin of everyone that has been on this. Sorry, the lighting is really bright here, but the skin that where everyone, sorry, it's not working.
Okay.
This skin here,
We
you
can
sit
see.
down. It's okay. You can sit back down. It's okay. Everyone's skin, because your skin tells a story of your intestinal, right? The whole inside tract. Your skin is an outward reflection of your intestines and your colon and all that stuff. But so many people, you look so young. Like you're reversing. I didn't know you before, but I'm blown away on how young everyone who's taking this looks, and that your skin is amazing. The most of you that I've seen thus far, and just seeing everyone smile and so family orientated with this, you can feel that through the screen. I could feel it through the screen and
Oh,
seeing it and the support of it, that everyone wants to help everyone versus who's going to climb over each other to get to the top. It doesn't work like that.
no.
I'm really impressed with it, and understanding the detoxing process and then understanding biochemistry as well to a certain degree. I got this right away. It made sense to me. And I looked
Smart attracts smart.
yeah, it was just, it made
Yes.
total sense. And also from when I work with people, it's the beginning, the detox, and then nourishing the blood, because life is in the blood. If we don't nourish the blood with the trace minerals that the blood needs, then we can't build that healthy blood cell back up. But that detox was the key to it. And to see the results on everyone, I just,
Well,
it's
you can go
amazing.
back and look at Carol is an example of it. You can go back and look at 2 years of Avini Vibes even and see the difference in people's faces and skin.
Mhm.
So we agree. There's another gal on tonight. I don't know. Is it Mars? Mars, where are you? You wanted to share.
We're, yeah.
Where are you?
You're here.
That was Stephanie.
Yeah, we're all hiding together. Hi. We're not driving anymore. We got here. So Marcy has been using our products just as a retail customer for a few months, and she had some health problems, and so immediately we got her, involved and got her on products, and she's had amazing results. And so she was sharing a little bit about that at the beginning. So at the I had a tumor, a mass of my brain, and they have a surgery. So I took the Avini's product, and they said that at the how to call this the the surgery the surgery was supposed to be 12 hours, and they were able to do it in 6. Yeah. So I sprayed the nano silver because they didn't want it to be infected, and when they came to see, it looked so good, and I had the product close to my bed, and all the nurses said, what's this? And they said, it's a good it doesn't have any chemicals. It's a natural product, and it really works. And I put the roll-on, the plus relief, plus relief on my knee because it was hurting, and my left brains it was at the left, so I couldn't move the right side. So I took the defender. Yeah, the cell defender. Cells defender, and I had acceleration progress. I can walk afterwards, and it was amazing how. And I told all of them at the how to call it, a rehab, what I was taking, and yeah, that works. And I didn't have any pain.
Amen. Thank you, Morris. Thank you so much. Your journey. We're going to be excited to hear more and more about your amazing journey. Tony, we're going to let you close us out, and then Chip's going to actually close us out. But Tony, words of wisdom.
Oh, goodness.
Anything parting thoughts? Or did Chip, did you want to comment before? Or Tony will go first, and then Chip will close us out.
It does. Well, I tell you what, let's have Tony close.
Oh,
Okay.
for heaven's sakes.
Let's have Tony close. I do have several things that I wanted to bring up. And you know, it was kind of neat to see Tony at work. So I always wondered what she does. And so she kind of tells her story, which turned into a product trial, and the test was successful. And then she made a bigger decision. And then she began recruiting some people and made a bigger decision. So sometimes people don't make the whole biggest decision the first day. And one of the things that I see MJ doing is coming back and saying, "Are you ready to make a bigger decision?" And that's kind of what the ask is from the 90 days. Are you ready to make a bigger decision and get more involved and begin to ask people to be involved? 3 different times during the call tonight, there was a practitioner involved, and the comment was, "Keep doing what you've been doing." And I always think, you know, that sounds great, but if they tell you that, you know, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it, and I will keep doing what I've been doing. Could I ask you one question? What would it be like if you could get the kind of results I just got for all your patients? What would that do to your practice? You're saying this is different. What if that was dependable and reproducible? And so to me, it's wonderful to hear, but the thing that allows this to grow is, wouldn't you like to have this kind of result for everybody? A little bit of, and I always like to do that, how can this be? Okay. And so you just listen to Marcy tell a story about a brain surgery. And success, began to move when she wasn't moving before. The surgeon had a different experience than he was anticipating by 6 hours. How can this be? So this is the way my little world works, because this is what I do all day long. How can this be? If you've been using these products for a while, those kind of growths have a blood supply on the outside, not much on the inside. So if you start using Cell Defender and it starts to hurt them, it creates a line of demarcation between the good stuff and the bad stuff. The inside of those tumors is often dead already or not very much alive. It's the outside where it's wanting to proliferate and get bigger. So now all of a sudden you're the surgeon, and you go in there and you don't know whether to go in with a teaspoon or a teacup into somebody's brain because you can't tell the good from the bad. The story that I heard from one of the surgeons at MD Anderson that called Rick after doing a surgery like that, he said, when I started working on it, I thought I was just going to decrease the amount, take some of the pressure off, buy a little time. But guy's literally inside of somebody's skull working on their brain. And he said, I began to work on it, and the edges of it started to peel up. And then I started to tug on it, and it seemed like it was going to come off, like the growth itself was in trouble. And I'll be doggone if I didn't pull the thing out. And the problem is here, it grows down into the folds of the brain. And this one, when I lifted it off, it came out roots and all. And he said, you know, I don't get to tell people this very often in this kind of a surgery, but I mean, what do you want to hear when you had a surgery like that? Wouldn't you like to hear, I think I got it all? The guy says, I think, and then he said, can you tell me what I just saw? And they said, well, the little bottle there on the side of the counter, you know, the little bottle there on the side of the counter. And they said, what's in it? I don't know. Somebody just suggested she take it, and she took it. And so the next thing you know, and it's funny that it doesn't just go everywhere. There's resistance to good things going everywhere, apparently. Rick got a call and they set up a Zoom with him. And he thought it was going to be all this, how that, and all that kind of stuff. But he said the first thing they asked was, how do we get this? The administrator, the doctor, but that there's resistance. It's built in. That's what I wanted to add to tonight's call, and I really enjoyed having a chance. I always wondered. I figured it must be hard out on the floor. That's hard out on the floor. That's Toni's style. So now you know a little bit about how she does it. You just saw her do it with us, so you can do it with her style if that fits you. But may I please hand it back to Christine and Toni?
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Chip. Well, Toni, we're going to let you give words of wisdom, and then I'll close this out at the end. But we want to hear again from you, Chip. Thank you so much. What amazing, right? Chip is just brilliant.
Isn't he? Isn't he poetic? He's absolutely poetic, and that's why I'm so blessed that he joins me on Mondays. I'm honored that on Mondays we share the testimonial calls on Mondays. Diane Chasik, I see her with her hearts over there, just raining hearts on all of us. She greets everybody, just as Pat Tracy does for Chip on Wednesdays. But the wisdom part, I'm gonna borrow it from Chip. We're gonna help each other and by borrowing little tidbits of wisdom from one another. He just said it's a little decision that we take a little bit further and a little bit further. And I personally think, and being a spiritual and God-centered woman, I believe that we listen to our hearts. And if it feels like we're getting a divine calling that something is right, then we trust it and we move forward. And maybe we're checking things out and we're trusting and we're moving forward and we're getting bigger and we're getting bigger. And I heard Chip say, MJ, make a bigger decision, make a bigger decision. I think that is an excellent method of allowing people to grow at their pace, encourage them where they are, and challenge them to take the next step. Challenge them to take the next step. I know, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep exploiting her because she's here, but Diane is someone who challenges herself constantly. She puts herself in new training situations and new people experiences, and they challenge her, but you know what? She grows and her team is growing, and I watch her grow. And it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding. She thinks I don't notice, but I do. So anyways, that's all. I don't know if it's wisdom. I just know it's the feeling of the moment, and go with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. We're grateful that you're here, your leadership. You're such a blessing always when you come and join us. And don't forget to get on those Monday calls with the two of them. And every day at 11 o'clock, you learn from each and every call at 11 o'clock. I want to just share this. Today at that mental health wellness conference that I was at, there was a woman sitting in a wheelchair who I know very well through the years. She's wheelchair bound. She also has a trach, but she also had the opportunity to ride years ago when I was at the Therapeutic Riding Center. She rode Special Olympics for riding the horses. No legs, right? She's up on a horse riding, and she competed. But what she said is when they went to do her trach, they said that they couldn't put the trach in. And she has a big voice. She loves to talk. But what she said is that she made 10 calls, and 10 times they tried and it didn't work. But she was not going to give up on 10. So if you make 10 calls and you get 10 no's, the answer is not no. It's just that you didn't make enough calls. And that's what Donna left us with today. And I want to leave you with that. Go make that extra call. God bless each and every one of you for being here. We'll see you next week. Gary said we're coming next week. And we are, because Gary said so. We'll be here next week, maybe not the following week for the holidays, but also let you know there's a corporate event on Wednesday, the 17th. Again, just shoot me an email. I'll send you the flyer. Live Your Freedom Day at Gmail if you'd like the flyer. 7 o'clock at Boca Raton Corporate next week. Carol Witt, thank you for always helping and doing all the tech for this. Toni, God bless, and God bless each and every one of you. Have a blessed night and go out and share. Good night now.
Everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
Thank you.